Tikori slippers, put the slipper one side.
What if you say?
Take it off, take it off. Wash your hands. Hastaur prakshalanam. Apavitraha apavitro va sarvavasthangato piva. Yasmari pundarikaksham. Sabahya abhyantar sachi. Om pundarikaksha punatu. Om pundarikaksha punatu. Om pundarikaksha punatu. पवित्रस्थौ वैष्णव्यौ सवितुर्वः प्रसवौर्पुणाम्य छिद्रेण पवित्रेण सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिः तस्य ते पवित्रपते पवित्रपूतस्य च कामः पुनेत च केयम् चन्दनस्य महत्पुण्यं पवित्रं पापनाशनमापदां हरिति नित्यं लक्ष्मी तिष्ठति सर्वदा. All right. Sit down. राम नाम सत्य है. Let us all stand, please. As we clasp our hands and we prepare ourselves for ceremony, family, friends, well-wishers, members of the bereaved family, we all come together in a solemn manner to express our love to Avinash in his transition, as we accept this reality, a difficult reality to come to terms with, and even more difficult where a child passes before a parent. One can only imagine the grief that is being experienced, but you cannot yourself understand it as a parent would in this moment. But all we can do is to ask Bhagwan's blessings upon this family, Avinash's parents, and by extension, all those who have been closely associated with him, friends and relations, and who have shared a close bond throughout his life. Tragically, under circumstances, life goes on, life is not spared. Like Adi Shankaracharya, one of the great saints, says, it is as unstable, life is as unstable as a water droplet on a lotus leaf. The lotus leaf shines the water droplet like a droplet of silver, but with the mere shake of that leaf with the breeze, it runs off. In the same way, Adi Shankaracharya compares life, that life is very, very unstable. In a moment, it can be lost. Therefore, whilst life exists, we learn to love, we learn to harmonize, we learn to live with respect and responsibility. So as we come together to honor his life, we ask the blessings of Bhagavan Sri Krishna upon his soul in his transition. As we clasp our hands and we withdraw thoughts from here, there and everywhere, we focus on the purpose of our ceremony here this morning, asking Sri Krishna's blessings upon that soul in his transition. Hari Om. Shanno mitraha shambarunaha Shanno bhavatvaryama Shanna indro brihaspatihi Shanno vishnu rurukramaha Namo brahmane namaste vayo Tvameva pratyaksham brahmasi Tvameva pratyaksham brahma vadishyami ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तर्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ओम शांति शांति शांति। राम नाम सत्य है। काइंडली बी सीटेड। Come. Take the chica, use this finger and just put it on the glass now.
My forehead?
On the forehead. On the glass, on the two sides.
Both sides also?
Yeah. Right. And then bring the mala. Bring the mala for him. Just put it across. Pass it so. अंधकारमः घोरं रवि यत्र न दृश्यते तस्योपकरणार्थाय दीपोऽयं दीयते मया। अद्यमगोत्रः शवनाम, take his name, शवनाम प्रेत एष ब्रह्मदैवतः स्थान पिंडस्ते मया दीयते तवोपतिशताम्। Remain right here. Position here. Open the thumb. No. Keep. Let me show you. Yes, no? Tilodakam tasmai swadha. अद्यमगोत्रः पांथनां प्रेत एष विष्णुदैवतः द्वार पिंडस्ते मया दीयते तवोपतिशताम्। प्रत्यवनेजदलं मया दीयते तवोपतिशताम्। अद्य अमुगोत्रः खेचरणां प्रेत एष रुद्रदैवतः चत्वरस्थले पिंडस्ते मया दीयते तवोपतिशताम्। एषः तिलोदकं तस्मै स्वधा। सेम। अद्य अमगोत्रः साधकनाम प्रेत एष चित्रगुप्त दैवतः चिता पिंडस्ते मया दीयते तवोपतिशताम्। एषः तिलोदकं तस्मै स्वधा। अद्यमगोत्रः साधकनाम प्रेत एष चित्रगुप्त दैवतः चितापिंडस्ते मया दीयते तवोपतिशताम्। एषः तिलोदकं तस्मै स्वधा। Take this, brief as we touching in there, and put it under the thing so it doesn't fly, right? Then on the mouth. गंगे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिंधु कावेरी जलस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु। All right. Okay, sit down. Now, those who will put the malas or for lava, please come now. Yeah. Parents, Billy. जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों के दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो। और कोई न खेवन हारा हो, और कोई न खेवन हारा हो। फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा, पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा। जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। अनाधि निरनो देवा, शंख चक्र गदाधर, अक्षय पुंडरीकाक्ष, प्रेत मोक्ष प्रतो भव। अहर हर नयमानो गामश्वं पुरुषं पशून्, वैवस्वतो न तृप्यति, सुरापैव दुर्मति। राम नाम सत्य है। Let us bow our heads in prayer. Om Anadhiniro Deva Shankachakra Akshaya Pundarikaksha Preta Moksha Prado Bhava. As we gather in our thoughts and we focus our mind upon the realities of this COVID and the realities of our circumstances, we acknowledge the supreme law of action and reaction, the supreme law of karma. We look at a few lines of our Shastram. We are created for community, formed for a life. None of us can fulfill God's purposes by ourselves. Bhagavan Sri Krishna speaks through Arjuna to the humanity. Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, Dehi, this body which we use as the instrument, we use our bodies as an instrument. It is also referred to as a vehicle. So it is called Deha in Sanskrit. Dehi means the indweller. Indweller meaning the consciousness that sparks life. The consciousness that animates this material body called the elemental condition, this body of material matter. So that which sparks life in this body is called the soul consciousness, Atma. For the use of a better word, Atma in Sanskritam and in English just soul consciousness. It animates life, it makes us who we are, without which there is no communication, there is no love, there is no expression. Consciousness minus the body is called Shava. Shava means a corpse. And this which lies before us is nothing more than just a corpse. But what we are doing, we are using it as a symbol to say this represented the individual, this represented Avinash, this body which he came to be associated with upon birth. So upon birth, we are associated with our instruments, this body faculty, and it is dropped off by the soul consciousness when departure takes place. When you give someone your time and your talent, you are giving them a portion of your life. So Sri Krishna Bhagavan says, Dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. But just as Dehi, the indweller, living in this Deha, this body, comprising of 5 elements, is going through the transformation of a baby, the stage of being a baby, a youth, and then an older man. Kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha. In the same manner, tatha dehantar praptir dhiras tatra na muhyati. Shri Krishna Bhagavan goes on to say that although the body is going through such modifications of being a baby, then a youth, then it becomes an old man, The soul does not go through such a transformation. The soul is anadi, it is most ancient, it never becomes old, it is undying, it simply replaces the body instrument, the body apparatus along the path of its evolution, its spirit evolution. And this is what happens here. The soul consciousness drops it off by the law of universal action and reaction called the law of karma. We are given a certain amount of breaths to breathe. When it's done, it's done. So, dehi nosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptir. When that moment comes, transition takes place. A quantum leap of spirit from the physical elemental condition into the cosmic universe. Then that soul is no longer confined to the elements, it becomes one with the universe. It is not limited to movement, it can be here, there, and everywhere. It can cognize and acknowledge even the past lives which it has lived through, and also this little opportunity of a human existence in this life. It will be able to revisit the memories of the many relationships shared, and the analysis takes place in the chitta, the storehouse of consciousness, where all mind stuff is stored. Where have I gone wrong? And what could I have done to make a better life? But what can I now do as I proceed, and together with the collective love and thoughts of my family who are there to ask God's blessings and mercy upon my being, that I may have a beautiful, a safe and a sacred transition from this material dimension to God's world. A permanent abode with God. We refer to this as Mahaprasthana, a great journey. That life on earth is a temporary assignment. To make the best use of life, never forget these two truths. Compared with eternity, life is extremely brief. Compared with eternity, life is extremely brief. Secondly, earth is only a temporary residence. We won't be here too long. Don't get too attached. Our earthly body is just a temporary residence for the soul. Let us clasp our hands again as we, in our own way, we connect with God despite one's religious beliefs or other such beliefs that we may attach ourselves to. We cannot separate ourselves from being part of the humanity. So when we come together like this, it is an expression of a universal love, a love that transcends all barriers, religious, ethnicity, creed, race. There is no room for selfishness. There is no room for narrow-mindedness, where universal love is expressed. That same love that holds us together, that binds us together. When a beloved passes, it is the same love that should hold us and bind us together whilst life exists. So we ask the blessings of Bhagavan Lord Sri Krishna at this time upon the Atma of Avinash in his transition from the material dimension, this earth-bound plane, to the higher states of awareness, spiritual awareness, that as he continues this journey, as we all too will follow suit, continue the journey of spiritual excellence, birth after birth, getting it right, not just a one-time opportunity, either you go to hell or to heaven, but many, many such opportunities and chances given as acknowledged through the laws of reincarnation, that it cannot be achieved in one life, so we are given many lives, and by the mathematical calculations of the universe, the custodians of the cosmos, called the Devas, are given and assigned another parent that aligns with the resonance of one's own karmas, siblings, community, country, circumstances, ideal to work out such karmas and to move forward in one's spiritual evolution. So we are given many, many chances to get it right. And Sanatana Dharma says, ultimately all souls will achieve moksham or liberation. That no soul, we speak of souls, not Hindus or Christians or Muslims, but all souls ultimately will attain moksham or liberation, freedom from this earthbound reality, freedom from repeated birth and death. Therefore, we ask God's blessings upon the bereaved family. May you have strength and courage. May you draw your faith from your sacred scriptures, knowledge imparted to you in the past. Have faith, have courage, have strength, and Bhagwan will give you the wisdom and the deeper understanding in this your moment of loss. Let us clasp our hands and we offer our prayer in our own manner as we share a special relationship with Avinash. Om Manadhinino Deva Shankachakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha Preta Moksha Prato Bhava Ahara Nayamano Gamashvam Purusham Pashun Vahivasvato Natripyati Surapaiva Durmati Ram Nam Satya Hai. Now we'll call upon the person who will do the eulogy.
I was going to sit down last night and write up a little speech to give here today. But looking back on the relationship me and Avinash had, it was like years apart, we didn't even speak to each other. Like at one point in time, more than 7 years. Just not even for birthdays, nothing. Only if he buy mom and I end up coming in, then we would say anything to each other. I don't have any regrets to how it played off with us, but in whatever weird way this life we just live, this take us. He had a big impact on my life because we was complete opposites in everything. We disagreed mostly in everything. We argued a lot. We didn't even see eye to eye even when we was living together as little youths. But I enjoyed his company. I enjoyed being his brother. hope he felt the same way. And if it had anything that I had to apologize for or do to make up for anything, just hope he's happy wherever he is right now. Thanks.
As we conclude, let us clasp our hands, asking Shri Krishna's blessings again once more. Spirituality indeed is the foundation of life. This foundation of any psychology, the foundation of any science, whether we transcend and we conquer material nature, yet it is intrinsic to understand the spiritual nature of life. That this physicality depends upon consciousness. Consciousness is life. Life is sacred. And when you separate the sacred from the material, then there is no essence to life. Simply take away consciousness and there is no life. Body exists upon life. Life is independent. And therefore, let us focus more upon our spiritual education, spiritual awareness, spirituality, as it is what connects every soul, every Atma. Every energy point in creation is connected by that underlying principle, God's principle, without which there is no life, without which there is no existence. Return to your spiritual way of life, understanding yourself not as just physicality, because we were all born equal. And we share a commonality with the other. We eat, they eat. We produce, they reproduce. We defend our boundaries, they also defend their boundaries. So there is nothing that is less in the animal kingdom that of the human race. We do the same. What separates us is that we can acknowledge the existence of a higher consciousness, which is God, and that we can connect with that supremely high consciousness. And when we connect with it, our lives are transformed. We are no more just instinctive beasts. In fact, we have reduced our lives as instinctive beast-like, eating, sleeping, mating, reproducing, defending. But once you transcend these boundaries and you acknowledge the humanity, and it is intrinsically connected with your spiritual life, then we will transcend. We will become a better humanity. As we ask God's blessings upon Avinash, upon this family, upon members of the bereaved family, members and friends, and sympathizers and well-wishers, may you have courage, may you have acceptance in this moment of loss. Om Anadhinino Deva Shanka Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha Preta Moksha Pratobhava Ramnam Satyahai. The name of God is the eternal truth. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा. ओम शांति 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 ही. राम नाम सत्य है. We can have a final viewing before leaving, right? So those who would like to have a final view of the body, please come at this time and have your final view. Joey, so this will go, all this will go in the vehicle. This will go in the vehicle, yeah. This will go in the vehicle. No, we need that.
You want to go down with us here? You gotta carry this here. You gotta carry the light. Guys, what's in the box? I guess so. Maybe they're going to throw some rice and then you will just throw it in front here, right?
All out?
Huh?
All out?
Yes, so yeah, just you only got to pour all out.
Okay. So you have to wait for rice.
Yeah, no. Are you going?
Yeah.
Right. Sit
देवी माँ काली माँ शक्ति भवानी देवी माँ काली माँ शक्ति भवानी शक्ति माँ काली माँ देवी माँ शक्ति माँ काली माँ शक्ति माँ देवी माँ काली माँ शक्ति भवानी देवी माँ काली माँ शक्ति भवानी देवी देवी मां काली मां शक्ति भवानी